all. Freedom! I want you all to say with me, we need to remind these people who works for who, right? Who works for who? They work for us, that's right. You know, we're being told we're not allowed to occupy these grounds. We've been trying to. That's been our goal ever since we came here. And they're shutting us down. Honestly, it's a numbers game. Everything is. We need to remind them whose house this is. Whose house is this? It's our house. Whose house? Whose house? Yeah. They better never forget it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Cody Haller, everybody. Cody Haller. Give it up for Cody Haller. That's the spirit. We're going to have our next speaker up here. His name is Felix Wolf. My brother, come on up here. Woo!
Yeah! Yeah! Where you been, warriors? We've been waiting for you. Yeah, this is what I want to see. I'm bringing you inspiration from those who fought 400 years of slavery. Because we're not going to go back into it. No one is going back into it. Canada will be free. Ottawa will be free. Quebec will be free. Stay with me. I'm going to teach you some stuff. The little I know. Stay with me. First, I want to salute all the divine female here, because when a woman shows up as a warrior, enough respect. When the divine female shows up to defend her children, her man, and her land, and her country, I pay respects to you. So let me begin. We live under slavery, tyranny, and recently under treason, and we will put an end to it, starting now. The savagery meted out today against the citizens of the world would make even the Nazis in Germany jealous. We are sick of it. No more. I'm going to describe the slavery that we live under and how we end it. First of all, how the slavery begins in our minds. So we must each emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, because none but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for our satanic forces, because none of them can stop the time. You know what the time is? The time is now. Lastly, before I begin, if you can accommodate the contradiction here, my instruction to you is trust no one. Do your research. Work on yourself. Now let's go. So, in a time of complete lies and deception, a single word of truth is revolutionary. You understand then that they must prevent us from speaking truth at all costs. That's why they shut us down on social media and everywhere else. Because a single word of truth in this time of pervasive and unending lies is revolutionary. And so we're gonna bring it. Well, truth is all that we speak, so let the revolution begin. Slavery is a condition where one person is owned as property by another and is under the owner's control. The slave does not make decisions for himself, where he lives, where he eats, if he should get married or divorced, what he should put in his body. The most famous slavery in this part of the world was a transatlantic slave trade, as they called it, engaged in the production of sugar using West African slaves in a hermetical system with a single European country. It lasted 400 years. This is assuming we can believe what we read, because history and the books that they have used in our miseducation are replete with lies. The original slaves in the Caribbean were the native Taino, Arawak, and Carib Indians. But within a generation, they were mostly wiped out as a result of brutality. Then they used the Irish slaves, who they brutalized as well. Then they moved to West African slaves, which came to define the centuries. They were flogged, tortured, raped, mutilated, and more. But those Africans never gave up. They never allowed their spirits to be broken. Don't let your spirit be broken, Canada. Rise up! Rise up! Rise up! Rise up, Canada! We are lions in the jungle. We are not sheep. We are not sheep. We are lions. Hear us roar. Today, most of those slaves, they were from the Ashanti tribe. Most of them in Jamaica and Haiti. And that's why you know those countries as people of fighters. Because those people fought every day. They sabotaged the plantation for 400 years. They never gave up. Today we take our inspiration from people who can endure. Yeah. And we have endured enough. 8 months of bullshit. Yeah. And we are done with it. For many years, they thought the slaves were far-sighted, that they had poor eyesight, because the slaves, when they weren't burning the cane fields, they pretended they couldn't see, because if you don't plant the sugar cane straight, the profits go down. That's how smart the slaves were. So either which way, we're gonna win. Whether it's petit marronage or grand marronage, Canadians will win against this enemy. There is no mistaking. But today, slavery has a different structure, much more covert, but even more cruel and insidious, if you can believe it. And everyone on the planet is a victim. It's done through mind control. White people are slaves, no, much more than they know. Black people are slaves, Indian people, Chinese people, Arab people, native people of this land. Everyone on the planet is a slave. Because the sugar plantation slavery did not demand that. Why do I say that it's worse? I'll tell you why this kind of slavery is worse. There's something really crazy about the slavery. Because the sugar plantation did not demand that you worship your slave master. They only cared that you feared them and did their work. They didn't care that you worshiped them. The slave never had to believe in the goodness of the slavery. This new slavery, however, demands that we celebrate our enslavement. This slavery demands that we thank our slave masters. Thank him for his brutality and his demands for worship. It is a religion. The religion is called statism. Look it up if you don't know what we're under. We are under a demonic statism, the worship of the state as God, and we are done.